Wow, what's up, Max, man? I did not know people could see I was coming on. Wow, I must have created it because this is just a random broadcast. I wasn't scheduled or anything. So sometimes things come to me and I just want to say it to you guys through experiences when as they happen. So I'm gonna give a few minutes for people to get up in here so they can hear what I have to talk about tonight. Hope you guys having a safe quarantine Friday night. Hope you guys doing well. I know this is just random, so I'm gonna give about maybe 2 minutes for people to get up in here so they don't miss anything I'm about to say. So get on in here if you like. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, super chat, Cash App, if you like. If it changed your life, or you maybe you've been watching my videos and sometimes you hear some things that have changed your life. I like to hear about it. Believe it or not, those are the things that keep me going. When I hear from you guys, when I hear from you guys, the notes you guys leave in a Cash App or just a simple email. Sometimes you guys you know what it feels like to get a random email from a total stranger telling me how I've changed their life or how my videos have helped them understand some things. What's up, Dave Sincere? You know, I mean, if you guys are, put it this way, if you guys are looking to do something on your own, whatever it is, make sure it's your passion. Don't do it for money. Do it for passion. Because right now is the only time. Money's not even, you can't even really use money right now. So right now you have the option to discover something that is your passion right now. What's up, Tony? Tony Davis, welcome. What's up, Uber guy? Thank you for joining me. Right now you have the time to do something that's your passion. And this is how you're going to discover it. Whatever it is that is your passion, this is how you're going to know. Somebody's going to come up to you and tell you how you've changed their life. It really doesn't matter what it is. You could discover something that changed somebody's life, That's how you're going to know it's your passion. I'm just giving you a heads up just in case if you guys listen to this and decide to go and discover your passion, because right now is the time. But anyway, I want to share something with you guys tonight. On my Facebook the other day, or it was a couple days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, right? I had no, it was actually a week. It was probably longer than that. I had actually said the NFL drafts were going to be canceled, right? And so, I was like, and I'll tell you why I came to that conclusion. But anyway, I thought it was going to be canceled. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you guys are not going to believe it's going to, it's not going to happen. The NFL drafts, they're going to happen. They were saying they're still going to happen. I was thinking, no, they're not. They're not going to happen. Anyway, they happened, right? And this is about a week or two ago. What's up, daughter of the king? So now that it was, it came true. Oh my God, they started trying to get in on me on my Facebook, right? And it was like, okay, I was wrong. Okay, I didn't say that. I let my ego kick in. But anyway, I was like, it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. You got me, whatever, right? But they just was trying to get it because they don't really get me like that. Nobody really, the things I share on my Facebook, people don't really come back, right? But this was the opening. But anyway, it was my fault. I thought, I at the moment it started going back and forth. I was like, why am I involving myself in this kind of nonsense? The NFL draft, it means nothing to me. It doesn't change my bank account. It doesn't help me in any way, especially in a pandemic, right? So I kind of had to step back and think, man, how did I get myself wrapped up into this? All in all, you start throwing out stuff that you didn't really know and this and that. And when I stepped back, I had to think like this. The reason why I thought the NFL draft was going to be canceled, because unless the president decides that the NFL is considered essential, it can never happen. So I thought to myself, why would they bother with a draft Because until the president says NFL is essential, a game is never going to happen ever until this virus has been found, right? So that's what I figured. But anyway, my point was this. I started going back and forth on, a little bit here and there on Facebook. And then I had to step back and think, man, I cannot be getting involved in this type of stuff. This type of stuff is not accepted in the new economy. The new economy that the majority will never see. Okay. There's one right now going on right now, but the majority, they can't see what's being formed right now. Right. When you're in debt, you don't really know what's happening. You're just like, oh my God, everything's crashing. Housing market crashes, blah, 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 blah. Right. Believe me, when somebody's losing, there's somebody winning. Okay. Everybody's not losing. Just some people, the majority are losing. See what I'm saying? You can't, when you come to the new economy, you can't come over talking about stuff that's irrelevant. You just can't do that. What's up, R. Carp? That kind of stuff just makes absolutely no sense. But don't get me wrong, I know why the NFL did it. Okay, it's a business move. Never again will I try to predict the business of decision making of what a business can do with their own business. Okay, I made a mistake. I won't do that. But one thing I do know there will not be any games played until the president says the NFL becomes an essential piece of the puzzle. Until that happens, there will be no game. So why bother with a draft? It doesn't make any sense. And until there's a vaccine, who would do that? Now think about it this way. I want you guys to pay close attention to what this is right here. Now imagine if the president said, okay, NFL is essential now, right? But there's still no vaccine. Okay, there's still no vaccine. It's still floating out there, killing people, whatever, right? Now you got to think to yourself, what professional ball players are going to go out there on the field, say like they just said this is what's going to happen. What professional ball players are going to say, wait a minute? How many are going to say, wait a minute, there's still a killer virus out there. So not only would I be exposing myself, I would be exposing my family too. How many do you think are going to just bypass that and play anyway? Because remember, first they're going to try with no audience, right? No audience. So everybody else is sitting at home comfortably and safe away from the virus at home. But these few players on the field are going to bypass it? That doesn't make any sense. So what players are going to decide to do that? See what I'm saying? People with money, they would never, ever, ever, ever risk their life for money. There is no amount of money. There is no amount of money to accept that at all. You're talking about your life. So here I am getting caught up going back and forth over who's drafted. At the NFL draft was coming. I was like, man, Linnell, how'd you do that? Why'd you open yourself up to that? Why did you open yourself up to that, Linnell? It's your fault. I blame myself. When I talk about this new economy, I want you guys to understand. If you are not at zero, and I can't make this any plainer, okay, more plain than what it is. If you are not at zero, you will never, ever, ever see the economy that I'm talking about, ever. It will be mathematically impossible for you to see it, ever. You can't. What's up, Urban Bros? In this new economy, you can't come over believing you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage. You can't do that. That's not allowed. You can't come over here talking about you got a car on sale when you finance it for 84 months. That is not allowed. You can't do that. You can't come over here financing cell phones. That is not allowed, especially that one. That's not normal. You know who financing cell phones is normal for? People who finance cell phones. Those are the only people that believe financing cell phones are normal. That is not allowed in the new economy. You can't. Now don't get me wrong. Let me make sure I'm telling you this clearly. If you want to be rich, that is not allowed. But don't get me wrong, financing cell phones, that's going to come over into the new economy, but you don't want to be on that part. We need the majority to believe things like that. We need the majority to believe it's okay to finance cars, borrow from your 401k, finance a house for 30 years, refinance it, pull out money and spend it on vacations. We need people like that. The majority must believe that that's cool to do. That's it. Hawk Vision says, hi, I had a question regarding steps disputing information on a credit report. I have no idea. I don't. They got to have some information. They got to have some questions on there to do that kind of stuff. I really don't. When I help people out of debt, we might do that, maybe not, maybe will. But first, I find out if they really owed it, or if it was really them. If it was really them, I said, yeah, don't bother disputing it. Why? Because you did it. I'm not saying you, Hawk, but I'm just saying in general. So, but I'm sure there's other people that know how to do stuff like that. I'm just not really, I don't really do that kind of thing. Thank you, Urban Bros. What is it like on this side of when you probably hear this broadcast and you're thinking, what do you mean the new economy is being formed? Okay, now remember, knowing what I'm saying right now, mathematical science is exact. It's one of the rare sciences that is exact. That means it's perfect. There are no mistakes. See what I'm saying? I want to make sure you understand that it's clear that mathematics makes no mistakes. It's absolute. Okay? Now, if you add up all your savings and add up all your debt, savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Yes, including your mortgage. Yes, including your student loans. Yes, including all that stuff. Collections that you don't feel like you need to pay. Yes, all of it. All of it counts. All of it. Now, when you add that up, you got to look at that large negative number, and I want you to understand this. Mathematical science is exact. So whatever negative number you're seeing, that's how much you're worth. Now, for you youngsters, let me tell you guys something. I couldn't grasp that for 40 years of my life. I couldn't grasp that. The first 40 years of my life, I was living in debt the whole time. And I wasn't even scared. You know why? Because I had a job. That's why I wasn't nervous to be in debt my whole entire life. Making six figures, but in double that in debt. Thinking keeping student loans is normal. That's not normal. Keeping student loans longer than you actually went to college, you can't bring stuff like that over to the new economy. Over here in the new economy, you cannot crack your lips and tell people over here that you went to college for 4 years, but you kept in your student loans for 20 years. Your student loans are older than your children. That is not allowed. In this new economy, you never take financial advice from anybody that has student loans older than their children. That doesn't make sense. CENTS. That's according to mathematical science. The reason why I keep saying mathematical science, I don't want any of you to think that are listening to me thinking I'm making this up. Mathematical science. That means what I'm saying is not wrong. The financial playing field is getting wiped clean. Now, if you're getting wrapped up in all the news and the social media and all that stuff, you're not going to see it. You're going to miss it. You're going to totally miss it. Those of you that have been bad with money all your life, it's really hard. I know it's really hard for you guys to tell who's rich and who's not. It's really hard to tell. You go by their cars, their clothes, hell, maybe even a business or a successful business you see on YouTube or Instagram. They look like they have money, right? Because you see all the cars and clothes, and this is all you got to do. You know how I can tell if that's real or not? I just ask to see their personal credit report. That's it. It's so easy to find out the phonies and the fakes in the new economy because all you got to do is ask to see their personal credit report. It doesn't matter how much money they have. That means absolutely nothing. The economy is crashing. Nobody has jobs. You thinking they're paying mortgages? No, it's about to be a housing crash. This is obvious. All you got to do is unplug what you see on the news. I mean, look at what you're seeing on the news, but you got to look at it as in a different way. Here, let me give you a couple of examples so you can understand. Here's people working 10, 20 years at a job, right? For 10, 20, 30 years at a job, and then 1 month of no income breaks them. Does that make sense to you? Here's a business that's been in business for 20, 30 years. 1 month out of no job or no working income, they're broke. Does that make sense to you? That is not allowed in the new economy. That is absolutely not allowed. You think you can walk up to one of the, I call them the debt slaves in the debt matrix, and say, hey, you know it's not normal to keep student loans for 20 years, right? Hey, you know it's not cool to be giving out financial advice when you got $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in student loan debt. What in the hell are you giving financial advice for? That doesn't make any sense. That is not allowed. Yet I see it all the time. It burns me up. I can't stand it. When I hear people talk about money and I know they're in debt, because you got to remember this: when you get out of debt, you will understand that money is spoken in two languages, debt and debt free. If you've been in debt all your life, you only speak debt. I promise you that. I absolutely promise you that. If you're a person that has accepted that you will have student loans all your life, or debt is just part of life, or the only way I can get a car is finance it, let me tell you something. You only speak debt. Because only people in debt say such things. Everybody has student loans. They're going to always have, no, only people with student loans say things like that. No, that's not true. Pay them off and you won't have student loans. Gabriel says, so pay everything year round, then monthly, right? LJ, yeah, you get anything you can get to pay for the year. That's what you do. You get away from the monthly mentality. There is no financing cars. There's definitely no way in hell there's financing cell phones. That is no way in hell. No, you wouldn't even, let me tell you something, okay? You come over this a new economy, you wouldn't dare. Listen to me closely. You wouldn't ever dare take financial advice from somebody financing a cell phone. No way in hell. I promise you that. Now, if you're in debt and you've been telling people you got a great deal on a cell phone and you finance, and I'm telling you something, anybody that agrees with you that are around you, they're in the same debt pit as you. If everybody in your family, your crew, your immediate friends are all financing cars, guess what? You guys are all together. I promise you that. Hawk says, no, I understand that much. There are something not correct in the time frame and consistency of the information. Yeah, I know online. One thing I do know, I know online that you can check it and contest it. I know you can do it in Credit Karma, and I believe you can do the same in Experian online. I do believe you can do that. What's up, Jose? Rodriguez, Queen of the South, keeping up with the Joneses. What's up, Jewel? I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of just like the mistake I made by doing that before on Facebook. And just, you got to unplug from what you see and hear and listen to a different, you got to listen to everything a different way, right? So when they say people are struggling and stuff like that, you got to think, who are they talking about? Because it's not everybody. You got to remember, it's not everybody. I know it seems like that, but it's not. It's only the majority, and the majority must continue to think that way. That is very important for the whole economy to work. People must remain in debt. Once you get out of debt, you can see that. When I think about myself when I was in the debt matrix, I imagine myself, imagine me out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with a one person blow up raft in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean, right? This is what I figured. When I was in debt, imagine a little blow up one man raft with my job, and the Atlantic Ocean was my debt. The only thing that was keeping me afloat all those years was my job. Little did I know, I didn't have to have all that Atlantic Ocean worth of debt. I could have just paid it all off and I would have been cool. And guess what? I wouldn't have need the job no more. You see how that analogy works? Because it's true. If you're working at a job you hate, it's because you're in debt. In the new economy, that's not allowed. You don't work at places that you hate. We don't do that. If you're a person right now and they cut your pay when they should have been giving you hazard pay, but they cut your pay, you know why you accepted that 20% pay cut? Because you're in debt. We don't do stuff like that. If they came to me and said, hey, we're going to cut your pay, you're going to continue to work 40 hours and we're going to cut your pay by 20%, I would say, no, you're not. I quit. Why would you? I'm not a slave. I quit. No, sir. Pedro says, use this unemployment to pay debt and fund your dreams. Exactly. Fund your dreams. Most of you guys have no idea. You could just keep that money and you're a prime candidate for Chapter 7. Don't even know it. People think bankruptcy is a bad thing. They have no idea. Nobody ever questions it. They'll be like, wait a minute, if it's such a bad thing, then why is it there? And when the people that are telling you it's a bad thing, you got to remember who's telling you. Is it somebody with a finance cell phone in their hand? Is it somebody with student loans older than their children? Yeah, then that's why they're telling you that, because they're in debt too. When in the new economy, credit is a tool. That's it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You just pull it out just like you would a credit card or a hammer from the tool chest, whatever. When you need it, hey, check it out. When I need to rent a car, I pull out the credit card. Bam. That's it. As soon as the month come around, I just pay everything off that I spent on it. I'm not paying interest. Gabriel says, LJ, what happens? You're debt free with no income after not getting a job. That's a problem. That means you got to do something. Right now is the time too. Right now you can, whoever's listening to this, not even just you, Gabriel, anybody listening to this, right now you can do anything you want. You don't even have to work. Now I look at this line and Gabriel says, hey, and you don't have no income. It doesn't matter. You right now at this moment, you don't even need income. A job is not even an excuse right now because you don't even need it. Half of you, it doesn't even matter because you're on quarantine. It doesn't matter what you're going to do with it, because I guarantee you this, if you unplug your head from what's going on, you will see this time right now, this will never happen again. This is never going to happen again. I want you to understand. This is never, ever going to happen again. And if you're a person talking about, man, hey, I want to get things back to normal. I want to get back to what was, or whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but I want to get back. This is what I want you to do. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Yes, including your student loans, collections, mortgage, everything. That is your normal that you're wanting to go back to. That's what you want to go back to? I keep telling you, mathematical sciences are exact. It doesn't make mistakes. Now, I know a lot of you guys might add up all your debt and say, I don't feel like I'm broke. You know why you don't feel like you're broke? Because you don't believe the first statement. Mathematical science is exact. That's why. If you're in debt and you don't feel like you're broke, it's because you don't believe in mathematics. That's why. In the new economy, we believe in mathematics. That's the only thing. You know how easy it is? You come over here right? You got to start on the starting line, and that's zero. If you don't know where you're at, you don't even know how much debt you're in, don't even worry about it, because you got to get to zero first. You know how easy it is to spot financial fakers when you get debt free? It's like looking through a glass pane window and they have no idea how you can see them. They don't even know. I can know if somebody don't know how to manage their money well. I can ask somebody, hey, what kind of car insurance do you have? Now, I know a lot of you be like, what are you talking about? What's there? And I'll say, what kind of car insurance do you have? And if you say Geico, I'll say, why'd you pick Geico? I'm going to wait to hear your answer. Did you pick it because of the green gecko? Is that what you picked it for? What about that Liberty insurance? Because the emu was on there? If you got that insurance, that's why you have it. Because of gimmicks. Do you see Gucci doing gimmicks like that? What about Jeff Bezos? Do you see Jeff Bezos doing Amazon gimmicks like that? You know why they don't have to do that? Because they got a quality product. Quality products don't need gimmicks. You ever see that Drive Time commercial with the robot and the lady on there in green, the black lady on green talking all fast, and your credit approval, and the robot and the little doggies? You know why they do that? Because they know who they're talking to. They're not talking to me. Because when I see commercials like that, I say, why you have a robot and a dog and a funny voice? Why you have all that in there? It's distracting me. That's because that's the distraction. If you come to them and get a car from them, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. In a new economy, we don't finance cars, period. Ever. Don't finance things that go down in value. You got gap insurance. You got gap insurance. You probably thought that was normal too. That's not allowed in the second economy. It's not. I'm gonna show you how gap insurance is created, right? You go finance a car, it goes down in value, while at the exact same time, it goes up due to interest on the loan. Two arrows going exactly the opposite from each other. Right in between there, that's the gap. They only offer gap insurance to people who do that. So if you got gap insurance, you know why you have gap insurance? You're in debt. That is not allowed in the new economy. That's not allowed. If you want to be rich. But if you don't, yeah, that part is welcome because you'll make others rich by doing that. Gabriel says, yeah, I definitely to care what time or day it is. That doesn't matter. I'm not worried about anything. Nothing. And it's not just you, Gabriel. It's everybody. Everybody doesn't have to be really worried about anything. Nobody's going to repossess cars for at least a year. Nobody's repossessing homes for another year. Nobody's working. Nobody's there to push any type of paperwork to kick out anybody. This is your time to come over to a new economy right now. This is the time. It's being formed. You still have time. This is just the beginning steps right now. We're in the very beginning. Now I'm gonna tell you one part that is pretty difficult for me to see right now is the part that's going to happen by the summertime. Something big is going to happen. Why the summer? Because the stimulus money is going to run out. And then soon the unemployment, the extra unemployment, that's going to run out too. Then what? What's going to happen? You already see people protesting to get back to work. Wait a minute, there's no vaccine. Why are you rushing to get back to work? They closed down the businesses because of the coronavirus. I didn't hear anything about a vaccine, but you want to get back to work? That doesn't make sense. And anything that doesn't make sense, you got to focus in on. You got to think to yourself when you see this is how I view when I see things like that. Why are they willing to risk not only their life, but their family lives too? For money. They're in debt. Only people in debt value money more than their own life. More than their own life. You want to be in the second economy? Only people in debt do that. I promise you this. Doesn't matter what excuse they come up with. You just stop them and say, but you do know you can lose your life, right? Let them talk. I mean, if you even say that to somebody, let them say whatever excuse they want to say. And then when they're done, I want you to ask them. So what you're saying that you're willing to lose your life over it. Make them answer it. Because maybe they need to hear it come out of their own mouth because that's what they're doing. You do know you got a wife and kids too, right? You do know that, right? Yeah. They said it's contagious, right? Yeah. But you're gonna go do it anyway? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Only people in debt would ever do something like that. Dave Bourne says a lot of people are having problems coming to terms with the new economy shift. They can't sense it, but don't want to accept it. Of course, that's called normalcy. They want to hang on to the old, where the old is gone. Evolution. Evolution is here. And guess what, Dave Bourne? There's going to be people that's they're going to be chasing the old normal for the next 10 to 15 years when the new economy is here. I've been listening to some other things, man, and I had to accept that I have to leave some people behind. I have to. You know, when you get out of debt, you see the freedom and you understand you chain yourself. Borrower is slave to the lender. I mean, this is right in your face. I remember hearing that growing up all my life. Borrower is slave to the lender, but I was steady financing houses and cars and all this other stuff. And I knew that phrase, but I kept on doing it. You know why? Because everybody around me was doing it. I thought it was normal. And when you got loved ones that still think that way, you just got to be like, well, you can't say you're not, you can't save everybody. You just can't. They're part of the machine. And let me make sure I'm clear. They're part of a very important piece of the machine. Okay. They are the engine. People in debt, I want you guys to clearly understand something. People in debt are the engine of the machine. You got to keep them well oiled and keep them believing in credit and credit scores and thinking, keep them financing new phones every single year. I mean, Apple's faster than that. Apple's coming out sooner. They keep jacking these phones up so high, right? And guess what? People are going to start to believe, they already do, believe financing phones is normal. How many people in debt you think got $1,500 for a new phone? Not many. How about 1,000? Not many. People in debt barely have $500 in their account, let alone a whole $1,500. Financing phones is normal. That's part of the engine. That's how you keep it oiled. It's hard to hear. I know it is. It's hard to hear. If you're financing a car right now and you're upside down in it with a high percentage interest rate on your loan, you are part of the machine. And as long as you're there, you're part of the machine. You're lubing it well. Kiera says, crazy how people are risking their lives over this, risking their lives because they're in debt. Kiera, that's what debt makes people do. Debt makes you work at jobs you don't want to work at. Makes you accept being abused by your manager or your boss, stuff like that. That's not allowed in the new economy, at least the rich side of it. You don't allow stuff like that. You're like, who are you talking to? Oh, no, no, I quit. Oh, you expect me? What is it? It's like this. You know how they always do this. Hey, man, be a team player. Be a team player. When you're not in debt, you say, hey, what does that consist of? Does that consist of working anytime for free? Yeah. I'm not a team player then because I don't give away my time, the time in my life for free. That's invaluable. Oh, you're not a team player. I know I'm not. I just told you that. What are you saying? You're not going to do this? And no, I'm not for free. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to be answering calls when I get home or checking emails or text messages. No, you're not paying me. I'm not doing that. Queen of the South says, great information. You're welcome. And your passport of the new economy, your entire credit report, all three of them. That's your passport. Besides listening to how people talk about money, your personal credit report is your passport through this second economy. That's your passport. That's how you check with everybody you want to do business with. You ask to see their personal credit report, not by their cars, not by their job. I don't care if they're a doctor, lawyer, surgeon, CEO. It doesn't matter. I want to see your personal credit report. Hey, man, you see what I have? I don't care what you have. I have no idea how you bought any of that stuff. So I want to see your personal credit report. Do you guys know the percentage of people that you can eliminate out of your financial life by looking at their personal credit report first? You guys have no idea. Not credit score, credit report. Dave Bourne says it makes sense because they are in debt. Every interview I heard when they asked someone about going back to work, they talked about they have debts to pay. Of course, they have debts to pay. They tell you right in the open. People in debt tell you exactly why they're going back to work. I'm only here because I'm in debt. I got a mortgage. They don't say it directly. I got a mortgage. I got a car note. I got a this and I got a that. That's why you're here. Okay. If you go to, check this out. If you go to a job interview and you tell them that, what kind of salary do you think you're going to get? You're going to take whatever they give you. When you're not in debt, you walk into the interview and say, "Hey, this is what I want." Well, if they say, "Hey, this is not on our chart, you got to do these steps," you say, "I don't care about your chart. I'm telling you what I want. This is what I'm worth." No? Okay, then I'm leaving. You don't go into interviews crossing your fingers hoping you're going to get the job. No. No, you come in there and see if you want to work there and if they're going to pay you the money that you want. Can you imagine that? I remember going into interviews and I remember, check this out. I remember being scared to ask them to start out what I really wanted from them. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh no, man, I don't want to go too high because they might not hire me." And this, no. You know why I was thinking like that? Because that's what I knew I was worth. I knew exactly what I was worth, but I was too scared to say it. You don't do that in the new economy. That's a no-no. I've been having people, check this out. You guys know how many, now I was a virtualization engineer before I quit my job back in 2016. I've been getting calls around the clock now, right? And when they try to say, "Hey man, we for a remote job, right? I can do remote stuff, right?" And they've been saying, "Hey man, with this a remote job, they're going to start out with this." I said, "No, I want this. I don't care what you're paying. This is what you're going to pay me. If not, you got to keep it moving. I know what I'm worth. Even 4 years out the game, I still know what I'm worth." Dave Bourne says, "Finance a phone sound good because they stretch it out with low monthly payments. Mobile companies just use the auto lease model to get people to finance a phone." They don't even have to do that anymore. All they got to do is keep the phones up over $1,000. People in debt don't have $1,000 to spend on $1,000 plus tax to spend on a cell phone. No, they don't. No, they don't. You want to come to this new economy, you got to stop thinking like that. You got to stop thinking like that. It's so easy. Like now, if you're over in the debt matrix right now and you really don't know how to get out, I'm gonna make it so simple for you. Everything financially that the majority do, you do the opposite. If you have a house, you pay it off. If you have student loans, you pay them off. There's trillions of dollars in student loans. There's trillions of dollars in mortgage debt. Do the opposite and you will be financially ahead of millions. See how easy I did that? That goes with financing cars. There's trillions of dollars in car loan debt, right? That's millions of people. Pay your car off. You're financially ahead of those millions of people that are in car loan debt. And you just keep doing it. Credit card debt, cell phone, buy your own cell phone. You'll be ahead of all the millions of people that finance cell phones. Now, I know you're thinking, "Oh, it can't be that easy." Yes, it is. Mathematical science is exact. So everything I'm telling you is true. All you got to do is believe it, and you can come over to the new economy. It's being formed. It's clearing off all the financial fakers right now. They're being cleared off the board. This is going 18 months. You think a financial faker can go 18 months? No, they can't. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is. I know most of you guys in debt. You guys are fooled by people's cars and clothes and appearances on Facebook and Instagram, man. They can't, I'm telling you guys right now, they can't go 18 months. The whole board is being changed. How long do you think it's going to be before there could be a crowd of people like watching somebody on stage or something like that? How long do you think that's going to be? Hold on for a second. How long do you think it's going to be? That's going to be at least a year or two. It's got to be, because not just because if they lift the social distancing, how long do you think it's going to take people to trust when there's no vaccine out there? How long do you think that's going to take? Have you noticed people masks are getting bigger and bigger? They're going from just the regular gauze looking mask to like masks that they wear in a paint booth. Just stirring up more and more fear, just more and more fear. When you see that, then you got to ask yourself, what do you think there's going to be a next gathering of a football game or basketball game or a baseball game? How long do you think that's going to be? At least 2 years? Ain't nobody going to trust that. And then, like I said earlier, and if they have a game with no people in the stadium, the only people that are going to be on that field are people that are going to be risking the professional athletes that are going to be risking their lives for money and their families' lives. We'll see. If it happens, I want you guys to pay attention. I want you to pay attention to who's on the field, who's on the basketball court, and think, damn, really? Pedro is saying this is going to take 2 years. 2 years, and that's including vaccines and treatment. Exactly. 2 years minimum. That's why when I got into this stupid sports thing, because I don't watch sports, but anyway, got into this stupid NFL draft thing, what I said, and I thought they were going to cancel the draft. And I was like, because that just didn't make sense to me, but they had it anyway. It's like, man, those poor kids, you guys are not even going to play. You guys are not even going to play. And again, I wish I could see their contracts. I can only imagine their contracts must be rewritten like unseen ever before. It's got to be, because the NFL don't know when this is going to change. I bet you they still promise them all the regular money that people normally get, the athletes normally get, but there's some underwriting in there due to the coronavirus. I guarantee you there's something in there like that. That now something like that makes sense. If I own the NFL, I'd be like, hey, okay, I do have control if the NFL draft is going to happen, but I don't have control when I'm going to have another game. So I'm going to write this into these contracts just in case if this goes another 2 to 3 years like this, hey man, they can't keep playing those players. They can't keep paying those players those kind of salaries for that many years. I don't care how much money they got. They can't do that. Man, these kids got to work out. Where are they working out at? They can't work out with other people. Social distancing. In this new economy, you would never get in a serious relationship with someone in debt. You will never do that. Because once you feel the true feeling of financial freedom, You will never tie yourself, especially if somebody's in debt. They don't know they're in debt. They don't care how much debt they're in. They just think debt is part of life and all that stuff. You would never you would never in a million years legally tie yourself to another person in debt. I don't care how much you love them. Especially if you ever felt debt-free freedom. Yeah, you would never do that. That would never happen. Doesn't even matter. You would say, no. I mean, you wouldn't even, honestly, debt and debt free. There are two languages, right? People in debt, they only speak debt. So even when you start talking to somebody, you'll know right away if they're in debt because that's how they talk. Some think collections is normal, having car notes and not knowing what your insurance rate and not knowing what your interest rate is on your loans and all this other stuff. Only people in debt don't care about that type of information because they're in debt. Queen of South says, I can't even watch the draft. Who will play and buy tickets? Exactly. That's why I was thinking the NFL draft was going to be canceled. I'll be like, well, they're going to have a remote. I was like, well, that's not the point. I don't care if they have a remote or not, but they're drafting these kids and they're not playing. They're not playing. Gabriel says, damn, I'm going to be stuck with my parents for a long time. I don't know why you say stuck. Man. Right now, see, you're looking at it wrong, Gabriel. You're in the perfect place to create something. I think you got to unplug your mind from the old economy right now. If you ever want to come over to the new economy, Gabriel, you got to unplug your mind from the old economy. You're not stuck. You're in the best place to create. You just got to move to creation mode. It's going to be up to you. What's up, Ill Wills? Daughter of a King says, gyms are opening back up in my city. May 3rd, and it doesn't make sense. You know what? Let me tell you something. In the second economy, I always pay attention to things that don't make sense. Opening up a gym makes absolutely no sense. So this is what I think. Okay, there's a reason why you got to always think like in the second economy, I always look at it and say, okay, there's a reason why it doesn't make sense. Okay, what can I come up with that'll make mathematical sense to me? All right. That the germs are still floating. The coronavirus is still floating around. Yeah. And so, gyms are sweaty and hot and people don't even wipe down the gym equipment. Okay, cool. Okay. Who in the world is going to trust the gym? What's the percentage of people that are going to even remotely trust the gym? You can't even, check this out. There's social distancing right now. There's social distancing, right? So you're going to somehow all of a sudden trust a sweaty, nasty gym? No, I don't know how many people with no vaccine. They were closed down on purpose because of the coronavirus. The coronavirus is still out there, and they're just going to trust it again? No, they're not. So this is what they're going to happen. They're going to somehow do social distancing in the gym, same as the other the other stores or whatever, right? And then the people that open their businesses up, they're going to think, oh man, we can't get business because of social distancing. So guess what? They're going to protest again, just like they protested to get their businesses open. They're going to protest about social distancing because they're not going to be making any money. And guess what's going to happen? The virus is going to spread. So if it spreads again, guess what? They just take the governor, whoever just takes back control and say, okay, we're doing a total lockdown now. We gave it to you guys. We try to do it your way. You want to do it your way, and look what happened. The spread of the virus. Now it's lockdown. Now you ain't got no choice. That story I just told you, that makes total sense to me. Opening a gym and businesses with the virus still out there? Yeah. Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. Oh, probably the pressure of protesting. Plus, it's an election year. Okay, I get it. All right. The governor says, okay, you guys want to do what you want to do. Here's the control back. Do what you want to do. And then the local governments, they succumb to the pressure of protesting and let people start doing what they want to do. Let alone they don't know they're going to start protesting against social distancing because they're going to think that's what's keeping them broke. They ain't getting enough customers because of social distancing. Then they're going to protest again. See how that works? That makes sense to me. Do I know if that's going to happen? No, I'm just saying that's what makes sense to me. Daughter of a King says, yes, empty stadiums take that fun and hype out of sports. Yeah, takes it all that's all what made sports, which is the fans, which are the fans of all the rivalry and all this other stuff. Now none of that's going to be there. No more parking, no more concession stands, no overpriced beer, no more overpriced hot dogs, no $100 parking, no Super Bowls, no Major League Baseball, nothing. Can you imagine how much money's being lost? And then all of a sudden people think the season's going to happen, right? So then what you're saying is this: you're thinking there's going to be players, there's going to be enough players that's not going to give a F about their own life, that they're going to entertain people safely in their own homes, protected from the coronavirus, while they're not? Come on, man. You can't believe only people in the old economy believe that. Opening up a gym, you think you're going to get business? No, you're not. No, you're not. Queen of South says, I need my people in Atlanta to stay home. No nail salons, ladies. You better believe it. People are going anyway. Herbert Walker says, I would love some pizza, but I don't trust the restaurants. I know. Do I think are they doing social distancing in the kitchen of the restaurant you're going to? I doubt it. BL&S Holdings says hundreds of people on the Planet Fitness Facebook group are willing to go. Exactly. I know they're willing to go. See, now that's another thing that doesn't make sense to me, right? They're willing to go. They're willing to do it, right? That doesn't make sense to me. So I think to myself, why are they doing that? Okay, this is what's going to happen. The people that are ignoring it, they're going to get sick. And guess what? They're going to keep putting our doctors and nurses at risk by just not caring, right? So wait till enough doctors and nurses get sick. You better believe there'll be a lockdown coming. Something big is going to happen this summer. It has to. I'm not saying I know what it is, but that just makes sense to me. Trying to catch up with you guys' things here. Pedro says they are already talking about a second wave of the virus in late fall. Oh yeah, it's coming. This is obvious. I want you guys to see it. It's pretty obvious what's coming. Have you seen the protesters? They're all out there with no mask, gathering in the hundreds. Hey, we need to get back to work. Okay, all right. The government saying, all right, this is what you got to understand, and this is why the lockdown is going to be accepted. This is why. So just listen, because this just makes sense. They're going to say, okay, you guys protesting. All right. Okay, we're going to pass it down to the local governments, and then they're going to cave. They're going to do that. All this happened in the Spanish flu too, in the United States. Same thing. Philadelphia parade, all that stuff. People just didn't listen. And then when it gets bad, guess what? They're going to rein it in and say, hey, man, we gave you guys a chance. Now it's going to be a lockdown. Now you really ain't going to be doing nothing. We already gave, and people are going to be like, oh, damn, that's right. They gave us a chance. They knew what you were going to do. You got to remember, listen closely. Anybody willing to risk their lives for money doesn't value the time in their life. It's that simple. And there's a lot of people out there that they value money over their life. They value money more than life itself. Only people in debt do that. I promise you that. Only people in debt do that. I would never risk my life for money, ever. But when you're in debt, you're forced to do things. If you have student loans, you have car notes, yeah, you got to work. Why? Because you got those things to pay for. Ill Will says opening up a gym is not logical in this climate. It's absurd. People that will go to the gym, these people choose not to understand what's going on. It's just selfishness, in my opinion. Stay home. But you got to remember, Ill Wills, in my opinion, I'm not sure if it's coming. I think there's going to be a lockdown in the summer. You mark my words. Wait till because these businesses going back into business right now, they're thinking they're going to go back to work making the same amount of money they were making before the outbreak. That's never coming back for years. That's done. That old economy that they were thriving from, that's over forever. The financial playing field is being cleared. So they're going to go back. They're going to see they're not even making not barely even half of what they used to make. And then they're going to blame it on social distancing. And then they're going to protest against social distancing. And when the virus starts spreading rapidly because of it, there's a lockdown. That makes total sense to me. Ill Will says, I see the two-door Yukon as your avatar. 2 thumbs up. That's my baby. Pedro says, there's people recording empty hospital halls saying the virus doesn't exist. All right. Okay. I have no idea if it exists or not, but I'm not gonna pretend like it doesn't. I have no idea if it exists or not. I don't know if them people are dying from it. I have no idea. I don't know. But if you're wrong, hey, okay. I'm sure there's some people out there you could find that some people died from it. I guarantee you can look, but oh, it's such a small percentage. Okay, you want that percentage to be you? They tell you, hey, it's only a small percentage. Do you want to be in that percentage? I'm not going to be in that percentage. I don't care how small it is. I don't care if it was one person. I don't want it to be me. So I'm going to lower my chances of that ever happening. I don't care what other people do. And when you come over in the second economy by getting to zero first, you'll never do things like that. That's not even an option. That's not even a consideration. Donovan King says Gold's Gym is closing all 10 of their locations permanently in St. Louis. Oh yeah, they filed for bankruptcy. They're out of here. Oh, they're gonna. Hey, Donovan King, the gyms are coming in line. I mean, you got to think about it. How long do you think people don't even trust being around each other, social distancing? How long do you think it's going to take them to trust a gym? A gym? You might as well just wrap that up. Wrap that gym stuff up. That's done. Queen of the South says, yes, people are out walking and jogging, no masks or gloves. That's me too. I'm out there. I just don't get in the crowds. That's all. When crowds of people, I'll put on a mask if it's a crowds of people. But other than that, I'm not. Fear, you guys got to understand, fear weakens the immune system. So if you're a person like, you might cough, or what if you sneeze or something else and it runs through your mind, oh my God, I might have it. That's part of the plan that's causing fear that weakens your immune system. You can't think like that. You have to unplug. I don't know if it's real, fake, hospitals full, closed, empty. I don't know. Queen of the South says second wave of virus is coming in June because it will be peak vacation time. Shout out to Lamont for the $9.99 super chat. Big up LJ. Love the content menu too. Many cartoon characters on YouTube. You, sir, are different. I appreciate your work. Thank you, sir. I love delivering this work. This is my work. And I'm trying to help as many of you as possible to come over to this new economy that's forming. You come over here, don't worry, it's kind of boring because nobody's really going to believe you, even though you can prove it. But it's meant to be that way. King of Gaming says, how are you doing? I'm new. Just wanted to know, what do you think economy will be like in 5 years' time? I don't really think that far. I don't do that 5-year stuff because I don't look at the economy the way the majority of people look at the economy. I look at people's behavior. I don't look at what's going on in the stock market. I don't look at see who's what stock is doing what. I just look at people's behavior and I do the opposite. You don't need to read the stock market. All you got to do is look and see what people are doing. Like, for example, let me give an example. Now, this is going to be a hard one to swallow, but I like giving this example so people can understand how it really works. Because remember, before I say this, mathematics is one of the rare sciences that are exact. Okay, it's never wrong. That means it's never wrong ever. Okay, never. Now, add up all your savings and add up all your debt. Savings, yes, including your mortgage, yes, including your student loans, collections, all the stuff you think you shouldn't be paying for, and it's on your credit report, yes, including it all, right? Then I want you to go savings minus debt equals how much money you have to contribute to go in your 401k that might be being invested in the stock market. All right, so just do it one more time. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to contribute to your 401k. So if that number is in the negative, that means you have no money to invest in anything outside of yourself, let alone your 401k. Okay, so in actuality, you can't get taxes off. You're not getting your taxes taken off for your 401k. Because you're not even contributing anything to your 401k at all. You can't get taxes. Now, I know you see it on paper. I know you see it on your tax forms when you go see your tax person. But I want you to stick with this moment. If you're in the negative, it's mathematically impossible for you to invest in your 401k. Then you're probably thinking, whose money is that? That's the bank's money. Because if you're in the negative, you literally mathematically have to borrow the money to invest in a 401k. So the majority of people's money you see inside of the stock market, that's borrowed money. It's not even theirs. So when they say, oh my God, I got to pull my 401k out of the stock market, whatever. If you think it's yours, okay, I guess so. Yeah, go pull it out. Whatever. Oh my God, I'm losing money in the stock. I'm losing my 401k in the stock market. No, you don't. No, you're not, because you have no money in there. It doesn't even exist. That's going to be a tough one to swallow. But all you got to do is believe in mathematics, and then that'll never happen to you in the new economy. You'll never do that. Will says we will be back. We'll be back on lockdown when the second wave hit. I don't wear a tinfoil hat. He says I don't wear a tinfoil hat, but you can see it's coming. It's evident. Oh yeah, when they do mandatory stuff, I'll do my part. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to get a ticket or a criminal ticket for not wearing a mask. Hey, if you think it's there, all right, cool, it's there. Whatever. Gabriel says, bro, I really hate when people say that the coronavirus is fake and 5G and 5G is real. Only people who think are crazy. It's like, you can't really, don't even worry about what people think. You got to unplug. Like if you want to come over, listen, when you come over to this new economy, you can't watch the news. You got to tell your friends to stop talking to you about it. You can't listen to what they're saying about 5G. You can't listen to any of that, especially people in debt. They're being controlled by fear. People chasing money are usually running from debt. That's why they're chasing money. Because once you're out of debt, you're never chasing money. You don't have to chase money, you attract it. Once you get out of debt, you no longer chase money because you now attract it. That's why they call it currency. You ever think, why do they call money currency? Because that's how it works. Queen of the South says, very true. All this fear compromising the immune system, anxiety and depression sure is. If you're feeling like that right now, not just you, Queen of the South, but anybody in general, if you're feeling anxiety about everything else, you know why? Because you're watching the news. You're on social media 24 hours a day getting wrapped up in all that stupid nonsense. Everybody's conspiracy theories and their opinions about it. Who do you believe? Yourself. Unplug from it. Your anxiety level will go down. Just don't get on this. You don't pay attention to the news. Don't tell your friends to stop talking about it. If they start talking about it, you say, hey, I just told you, stop talking about that. Dave Bourne says New York lost $13 billion in just 6 weeks with the economy downturn of $60 billion over the next 4 years. How many states can bear this type of loss? So many states will fold under a loss of revenue that big. Yeah, they will. You don't have to. The reason why the state will probably do that because the majority will. But you don't have to be part of, you don't want to be part of the majority? Yeah, get out of debt. And you want to worry about any of that. You don't have to fall with it. You can not fall with it. It's a choice. Jared says, I saw restaurants putting up plexiglass on the tables. Oh my God. For sit down customers. It looked like a prison visitation window without the phone, just risking life to sit at a table outside of the home. They do the same. That's the same thing at Costco. You go to Costco, man, they got these plexiglass thing. They won't even touch your card or your receipt. What? Now you think I'm gonna go to a restaurant and just listen, you think I'm gonna go to a restaurant and risk my life to try to have an outdoor experience that's never going to be that like the experience it was before? It's never going to be that way. You know who I'm happy for right now? Who's making money? Let me tell you who's making money right now. The plexiglass people makers. See how I look at things? I look at, okay, plexiglass is everywhere. Who's the company that got that contract? Because they are awfully happy right now. Believe that. Whoever got that contract, and there's going to be many contracts, they got to be jumping for the moon right now. Their money is stacking so fast. Ill Will says, this pandemic hit, I've been sleeping much better. Since this pandemic hit, I've been sleeping much better. I'm not focusing on work and trying to always analyze problems. Things have come to a screeching halt. Pedro says, long-term shareholders are selling their stocks and the new generation is not buying them because there's no money. Long-term shareholders. I don't know too much about the stock market. I just look at people's behavior. Right now, and I'm not even a stock person, but right now I wouldn't invest anything into the stock market right now. That stock market right now, that whole thing is a roller coaster of fear. There's some, you know how many people right now, think about it. I want you, now listen, this is the way I look at things, okay? 85% of Americans are in debt. That means they have absolutely no money to their name. Okay, they're in the negative. What do you believe the percentage of those people that believe they're investing in the stock market with money they don't have? Those are the people that are scared because they have no money. All those people, that large percentage of the 85% of people, I guarantee you they're investing in some kind of stocks, bonds, whatever, gold, silver, whatever, right? And they're in a negative. You can't invest in anything with negative dollars. That's mathematically impossible. But hey, if they don't believe it, whatever. I wouldn't touch the stock market with a 10-foot pole, and I know nothing about the stock market. I can only imagine the fear. I only look at people's behavior when it comes to money. I don't look at numbers. I don't see what's coming on. What's the big craze or whatever. I don't care about any of that. I just look at people's behavior. What are they doing? Oh, okay. People out here financing cars and houses. I'm like, oh, okay, they don't know. So if I was in the business, I would sell you a house because you don't know that it's about to plummet. So I better get your money now. That's what I would do if I sold houses. I'd be pushing real estate. Like right now, if I wanted to make money, I'll be pushing real estate right now. All these SBA loans, stimulus checks, everybody in debt believes that they're going to come up on this market that's about to, I don't know what they're thinking, but the market's about to crash. There are millions of people out of work. That's millions of people that are not going to be paying their mortgages. That equates the housing market crash. Queen of South says, I am in healthcare. I no longer watch news and limit my social media. Oh, I can only imagine, Queen of the South. I could only imagine somebody on the front line that actually sees what's going on. And then you hear all this stuff on social media and what the news is saying. Oh, that would probably drive me crazy. I'd be like, that's not true. Ill Will says, I've been sleeping much better during the pandemic and less stressed. Oh, did you rewrite that? Okay. I'm less stressed because I'm not focusing on working many things. I have leveled out for me at this time, despite what's going on. I love the peace. Reboot. Yeah, this is you get the a lot of people don't understand that this is a restart. You get to restart right now, man, your whole life, your whole financial life. If you want to come to this new economy, you must be at zero. Zero is the starting line. All the fakers, all the check this out. It doesn't matter who it doesn't matter who you are right now. It doesn't matter if it's a movie star, doctor, lawyer, especially an entertainer that make their money on tours and crowds, man. The whole world is changing, man. Right now is your opportunity to be whatever it is you want to be. If you want to be the next star or whatever, right now is the time. Can you imagine like actors right now? Actors, those days of Will Smith blockbuster movies, those days are done. Those days are done. Movie blockbusters, those days are done. Oh, they're done. The new ones now, those are online actors. Those are, just Amazon, Apple. There's so many avenues now for people to become actors now. You can start your own show on YouTube right now. You don't even need a network. There are people on YouTube that have created their own shows. In this new economy, guess what? I guarantee, and hey, this just makes sense to me. Now that the businesses know they can have people work from home, they're going to copy Uber. They're going to copy Amazon. They're going to make all those people 1099 workers now, not W-2, 1099, which means they're going to be responsible for their own taxes. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it just makes sense to me, right? Now, if people mess up on their W-2 tax forms, right? Because when you have a W-2, you're semi in control of your taxes, right? You're semi in control. The majority of that control is with your job, but when you become a 1099, you're 100% responsible for your taxes. Now, follow me here. If the majority of people don't, if they, okay, first of all, when they move to this model, right? They're going to be working from home. If they move to this model, and people right now already blame taxes are the reason they can't get ahead, how many of those people you think are going to not be paying their taxes? Because whatever thing that they make up in their mind that validates them not paying their taxes, it's not even going to matter. You know how many people are going to be buried in taxes and fees from a 1099 where you're responsible for your own taxes? Ooh wee. You guys have no idea how much money that move alone is going to make the IRS. You guys have no clue. Mm, 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 mm. And penalties and fee, those people are going to be owned for life. IRS debt is the worst debt to have. Only thing second to IRS debt is student loan debt. Mm. I'm thinking about it right now. These people that don't know, they have no like. You can, if you want, you don't believe me. Check like Uber drivers. Check Uber drivers. See how many actually paying their taxes right. Are they putting away money? Are they get a fare, take out 20% to save for the taxes? I bet you not many. I bet you a lot of 1099 workers right now, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, not doing their taxes right. Ooh, I bet you they're in so much boo boo because they let you get away with it for like 2 or 3 years, man. Because just imagine They don't pay their taxes. They get away with it for 1 year, right? They get comfortable. Oh, cool. There's millions of people doing it or whatever they think in their head. Then they get away with it for 2 years, and then 3 years. And then the 4th year, they come knock on the door. Hey, you owe us taxes. What are you doing? And if you're doing it year after year, guess what? They're not saving money. They're thinking they're getting away with it. No, you're not. If I'm talking to you, they just haven't gotten to you yet. They will. Everyone must participate. Taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. If you understand them, all you got to do is, you can't break the rules of something you don't even understand. You know how many millions of people are breaking the tax laws or whatever, right? They're millions, and they don't even understand how it works. You can't break the rule of something you don't even understand. That doesn't even make sense. And yet millions are doing it. Their money's going to stack so fast. And imagine, like, there are people doing it. You know how many people right now are doing this? On their W-2s, right? They're checking that box saying, I want to be tax exempt. You guys know how many people are doing that? You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Oh, I'm going to just check that box and let it go for 6 months. And then they adjust their finances to not paying taxes. Get away with it 1 year, get away with it 2 years, get away with it 3 years, 4 years, and then come knocking on the door. Knock, knock, knock. You owe us thousands. And trust me, if they're knocking on your door, there's a reason why they're there. And you're not going to be able to get out of it because you don't even understand how you got in it. Shout out to Lemon for Life for the $2 super chat. Thank you very much, LJ and the SMD family. Thank you. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Nicer says, think Bitcoin is going to be here post-pandemic. I'm going to put it this way, Nicer. Now that I'm out of debt, I understand money is not real in any form. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if it's US currency. It doesn't matter if it's gold. It doesn't matter if it's silver. It doesn't matter. Euros. It doesn't matter. All you got to do is pay attention to people's behavior towards it. That's all. It doesn't, like, for example, people with Bitcoin that try to push Bitcoin, this is all you got to do to know if they know what they're talking about. That's all you got to do. You ask to see their personal credit report. Their personal credit report will tell you why they're into Bitcoin. Notice how this is what you should understand. This is why things are clear in the second economy. Do you know how many different types of cryptocurrency there are? There's so many. They're just making them up. They're just making them up. That's no different than going to Vegas and pulling the roulette wheel, or just pulling that handle on that machine with the 3 things that spin across the screen. You're not going to know which one of those cryptocurrencies is going to take off. It's all made up. And anybody telling you to invest in cryptocurrency, you ask to see their personal credit report. I promise you, it will tell you exactly why they're investing in cryptocurrency. It doesn't, the form of currency, I now understand it doesn't even matter. It does, whatever. You believe in cryptocurrency this week? Okay, Bitcoin's the top one this week. Oh, this one, light on is that one. And then it just switches every day. Nothing. And it's some top secret compacted code, unbreakable code, whatever. Who said that? Who said that it's encrypted that level of this? Half the people don't even understand what any of that means. It just sounds fancy. It's just crazy. I don't even look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because half the people, check this out, half the people telling people about Bitcoin, they don't even have money. When they tell you that, hey, you turn to them and say, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? If they can't answer you, don't take financial advice from them. Hey, man, you tell them about Bitcoin? Yeah. Do you know how much debt you're in? No. Then I don't listen to that person. Why would I listen to you? Dave Bourne says the Uber cabs have plastic and plexi dividers in their cars now. Wow, look at that. Mm, mm, mm. Rideshare Done Right says, what is the lesson, bro? What are you teaching? This has been on repeat since I came back. Anything new? Hmm. Hmm. You know what? I want to point out something to you, Rideshare. I do. I do. You've been saying that for at least like 2 or 3 months, 4 months, something like that, right? You've been saying that. You've been coming back and forth saying that. You got to ask yourself, if I'm on repeat, why do you keep coming back? And I'm not even being mean. I want you to hear yourself. And I want you, it's not personal. I'm not saying it any personally, but you've been saying that for a while. And I want to ask you, if you know I'm on repeat, why do you keep coming back? Because what you're hearing, maybe what you're hearing or not, is that it's the same material told in different ways because it's just the same. I'm only talking about mathematics. It's not going to change. I'm teaching people math. That's it. Ken C says, when I was W-2, life was easy. Soon as I became a business owner, 1099, all crap broke loose and it made me feel like a criminal. All you got to do, you know, honestly, I don't know anything about that either, Ken C. But guess what? I know how to pick the right person that does. Whoever's going to do my taxes when I get like big, I'm asked to see their personal credit report. Their personal credit report is going to tell me if they know about taxes. Because if they're in debt, they don't know about taxes. You can't be in debt to take advantage of the taxes. That's mathematically impossible. If my tax person doesn't know that, I'm not using them. I'm not going to explain it. Living for Life says, LJ, I was at the grocery store today and the anxiety was in the air. Oh, yeah, you could feel it. You're right, air. It was overwhelming to be around. That is serious in these streets. You know what? You're right. And I'm glad you're acknowledging that. I really am glad you're acknowledging that because it's there, it's real. You know what I do when I go around shopping and go places, I acknowledge that tension is there in the air. I see it. I just refuse to allow myself to be part of it. You know, the plastic, everybody wearing masks and social distancing, and everybody's looking at you if you sneeze wrong, right? They're looking at you like, oh my God, do you have Hey, no, I refuse. I just acknowledge the fear and I'm like, okay, make sure I'm not part of it. Because if you become part of it, you're not going to come into the second economy because stuff like that happens. 2008 happens, other kind of stuff happens. It's going to be tested. Everything shifts, everything evolves. If you stay out of debt, you won't get caught up in that stuff. Pedro says, I do Uber and I know at least 4 drivers that owe 5K plus dollars. Yep. Each one of them had to make payment plans. I told you. You see what I'm saying, Pedro? Now you times that. Now when the businesses figure out they can save money by having people at home and make them 1099, you times that by millions, making payment plans. Mm, 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 mm. You times that by millions. They will be slaves until they're dead. Now you if you do this, you see the people that's going to be behind on their taxes, right? Behind on their taxes and student loans. Oh, behind on your taxes and student loans, you're going to be a slave until you're dead. Mm. Just watch the video, Kira. I wonder which video are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody else, Kira? Dave Bourne says, "Rideshare, do you have a financial?" Rideshare pops in every now and then and says those things. I'm like, dude, why you keep coming back, man? If I'm repeating myself, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. It's like when I'm on Facebook and some people say things that I don't like. You know what I do? I just unfollow them. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like, for example, I learned I got out of debt from Dave Ramsey, right? I got out of debt from Dave Ramsey. And after a while, if you go back to after you get out of debt and you go back to Dave Ramsey, you're like, okay, you're just repeating yourself. So I just stopped following him because it's nothing really new. You know, it's the same thing. Dave Ramsey just says the same thing because it's just mathematics. He's not saying anything new. People refuse to accept. They refuse to accept how easy this is. They refuse to accept it's just basic mathematics, adding, subtracting, division, and multiplication. Multiplication. Am I going to say that? Multiplication. That's it. And if you're young right now, if you're in your 20s, you're getting out of high school, if you remember this, what I'm saying to you right now, if you never, ever, ever finance anything, you'll be rich by the time you're 30. Now, I know you're thinking, oh man, I got to go to college. No, you don't have to go to college. You don't have to. Those days are done too. You don't have to go to college to be rich. That's a myth. People are doing it every day around you, online and everything. Right now, online, making millions. They're not special. Those people are not special. They're not aliens. You want to be rich in this new. You want to be rich in this new economy. Get out of debt. This what I teach you guys. This feels like a gift, man. You do you know how amazing it feels to be able to spot financial fakers? And they don't even know I can see them. People in debt don't even know I can see them. People email me things. Hey, man, you want to get this money, that money? You want to do this deal? I say, yeah. Let me see your credit report. I don't hear from them again. What do you mean? Here's my credit score. No, your entire credit report. I need to see you log in. Let's verify that Social Security matches that. Log in to whatever credit report agency you're getting, whatever, all that's going to be verified. And then it's going to say, okay, I'm going to make sure that's you. So let me see your credit report. It'll tell me if I'm going to do any kind of business with you. Oh, okay. All right. Gabriel says, LJ, you know, people are in debt when they say, hey, you make $35,000 a year. That's so little. I know, you know, people are in debt when they say things like that, because if you're new to the channel, if you don't have any debt, you can live comfortably off of $35,000 a year. I promise you. You can live, if you have no debt, you can live comfortably off of $35,000 a year. Comfortably. Shout out to BLNS for the $5 super chat. What do you think about virtual career fairs? I was looking forward to job hopping to make more money this year, but having to modify those plans. I was looking for. Oh, what do you think about the virtual career fairs? I've seen them. I've seen them offered. I'm just not. I haven't gone to look at them. I don't really see what their purpose would be. I just think it's more of a. They made a lot of money off those, because I used to go to like VMware conferences because I was a VMware engineer. So I did a lot of VMware conferences in California and stuff like that. And when I went there, you know, honestly, when I went there, it's just a bunch of people seeing the new products and everybody sitting around on their laptops and phones acting as if they're busy doing something, that they're just so important that they've got to be in the lounge area and doing whatever they're doing on their laptops and phones. And It's like I remember going to those conferences. And I'm like, when I'm here, I'm really not that busy. I'm not doing anything like that. You know, that's what the people at the business where I work for are doing. They're covering me while I'm gone for the doing this conference. So I don't. I would log into there just to see their new offerings of the software, see what they're because they might be demoing whatever their newest latest software is. But unless it was a major upgrade, I wouldn't even participate in one of those. But like if I was going from let's say version 6 of the VDI software and they were going to 7, it's like, okay, that's a whole, it wasn't 7A or 6B, 6A, whatever, it was 7. So that's a major overhaul. So I would probably read the white docs on it. And then if it was interesting, I would go check it out. But right now, as a virtual engineer, you can call your shots right now. You can make some money because everything's virtual. So they need people to keep that. They need people to keep that going for sure. I can't attend all the career fairs I plan to. Yeah, it's now. You talking about physically attend, or you just talking about strictly virtual? Because virtual is the only one. You know what I'm saying? Kira says I still have an internship this summer, and I was thinking about paying off some of my student loans, but my mother was saying I should wait. What do you think? Um, I would wait. I agree with your mom. I would wait right now. I would because do it this way. Still save your money as you're going to pay it off. Like you're still going to pay the student loan debt off, right? You could still go on emotions by stacking your money to save it. So just in the case of everything miraculously turned around, you have the money to instantly and just pay off it, right? But right now, while things are shaky, you have money, right? So because we don't really know what's going to happen, so I would just keep stacking my dough, saving your money as if you're going to pay it off, and just wait it out, because I would wait all the way. Probably this summer something's gonna happen this summer. I would wait. My key focus right now is the summertime. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen this summer because something has to happen. So I would keep holding on to the cash. I would hold off on paying off my student loans. BLNS Holding says I'm using VMware for my cyber courses. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Oh, so they got you probably logging into some virtual machines right now to do that. Ill Will says the conferences are just a larger Starbucks. I know, right? Larger Starbucks event taking on the road. People trying to look busy. Ain't that Ill Will? I remember going every year, and I remember I used to almost feel like, man, how come I'm not as busy as these guys are, right? I used to always think that to myself, man, I'm not really that busy. I wasn't doing a lot of things, but I would sit down at the lounging area, plug up and get on my laptop and check emails like I'm busy, but I really wasn't doing anything. It's just oh, this virus I want you guys to understand, this virus thing has changed the game. It has changed the game. Trust me. Kira says, yes, sir. That makes sense. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I like telling you guys the things that are obvious that I can see, right? Like when you're nervous about like should you spend money or save money, right now there are millions of people out of work, that there's millions of jobs not available, right? You can't even go make money right now. Save your money. Don't go spend it. Save it. And I know a lot of you are anxious to pay off your debt. Just pretend like you're still paying it off. Your money's still stacking. So if it turns around, you got the money to immediately pay it off. But hey, if things don't turn around and it lasts longer, because it's going 18 months, I'm gonna just tell you that right now. That's what I see, 18 months. And you got money and you really ain't got no other bills. Hey, you good. Especially if you have a job. Jared says, my friend makes $80,000 a year, but only has $2,000 to his name and owes over 30,000. He told me he was looking at oh my God. See what happens? Just the structure of that sentence is already making me laugh. Okay. He told me he was looking for properties to buy. I told him to pay off his debt. He told me that was going to always be there. See what I'm saying? You got to walk away from people like that. That's not allowed in the new economy. That's not allowed. You can't say things like that out loud. You can't say I make $80,000 a year and I only have 2,000 and I got 30,000 in debt. In reality, what he just told me, he's negative $28,000 in the hole. So he believes that he can take negative $28,000 and take that money and go look for properties. That's what he's saying. He doesn't know he's saying that. And I guarantee you, if Jared told him like that, hey man, you know 2,000 minus 30,000 is negative 28,000. You do know that, right? Oh yeah. Well, you can't buy anything with negative $28,000. That's you're in the negative. So you can't even look at properties. What are you doing? They still won't believe you. That's not allowed in the new economy. You can't do things like that. You definitely can't say things like that out loud. You can't do that. I make this so simple. All you got to do is this. This is all you got to do. Log into create a Credit Karma account, right? Just log in there. That holds the Experian and TransUnion credit reports, right? And then there's a third one called Experian. That's the last one. There's 3 of them. They're all free accounts. Go through all of them, add up all your debt. Okay. And then you go savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Once you know this number, put it this way, once you know this large negative number, that's when it's time to come see me. That's when I know you're serious. If you call me up and say, hey, LJ, I'm ready for you, and you tell me your exact amount of debt, I will know you're ready. Because I don't really like wasting people's time. It's like, if you want me to help you start from scratch, I can do that too. There's a different way of saying that. Those type of people come to me and say, hey man, I'm tired of being tired. I need your help, L. How much debt are you in? I don't know, man. And I need help. Okay, cool. That's how I want to hear it. But if you come to me also and say, hey, LJ, this is my exact amount of debt, because people in debt don't know their exact amount of debt. So if you come to me telling me your exact amount of debt, right there alone tells me that you're ready for me to speak to you. Don't believe me? This is what I want you to do. You don't believe me? Add up all your debt, get in your Credit Karma, Experian, add it all up, know your exact amount of debt. And then I want you to ask 10 of your friends if they know their exact amount of debt. And then when they don't know, then I want you to ask 20 of your friends. And if they don't know, then I want you to get on Facebook and ask 10, 20, 30, how many Facebook friends you have, ask them and see how many of them know their exact amount of debt. And then when they don't know, then you come back to me and see me. And then I'll explain to you why, and I'll create a plan showing you why that is. The Beauty Tea says, in April, I put $4,000 to drop down on my credit card debt. It came down to only owing $3,000. But when they closed the non-essential business, so I've had to pay things with that same CC, bringing it back up. Now, okay, so this is what I want you to understand, Beauty Tea, okay? Don't feel bad that you had to do something like that, because you got to remember, it took a pandemic for you to start putting money back on that credit card, all right? A pandemic means worldwide, not epidemic, but pandemic. That's worldwide. Look at the P. When you hear pandemic, look at the P as passport. Passport means worldwide. It took a worldwide pandemic for you to put some money on that credit card. That's okay, because it took a pandemic to do it. If it was regular circumstances, you wouldn't have done it. So right now, just be happy that you have a backup like that to do that. But by you even coming on here telling me, it just bothers you putting that money on there. By you being bothered that you had to use the credit card, I know that you're not putting money on there frivolously. I know you're not going buying TVs and shoes and MacBook Pros. You're doing what you need to buy some food. Maybe you got to get some gas. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. That's a big difference from people that don't know. So don't feel bad about that. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. This is a very extreme circumstance that will never happen again this century. Beauty T says, my stimulus and of course unemployment has not come in yet. I'm in FI, so not expecting it anytime soon. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Just be happy that it's coming. You have a credit card to do you right now. Just be happy that you have something. Okay. Don't worry about that. That money's good because I'm glad. Maybe it was a good thing that it didn't come in. Maybe you would have took that money and put it down on that credit card. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right now, times are too shaky. Don't do none of that. Because a lot of people don't even know. Put it this way. Let's put it this way. Bankruptcy Chapter 7 will stay on your credit report for 10 years, okay? Now, if you add up all your savings and add up all your debt, savings minus debt equals how much debt you have in real life, right? If it's going to take you more than 10 years of your life to pay off your total debt, you need to file for Chapter 7. If you ever want to come onto this economy and you got an FHA mortgage or something like that, hey, you either refinance into a better loan, you better let that go. You can't be coming over to the new economy with an FHA mortgage. That's a subprime mortgage. You don't want to do that. If you accept that the house is not yours, accept it. It's not yours. Jared says, this pandemic caused my leasing office to go up just $10 instead of our usual $70. Our pandemic go up $10 instead of the usual $75. I'm going to wait it out, LJ, like you said, for real estate to go down to invest since I get a better deal. When you say go up $10, what do you mean? A late fee? What are you talking about, Jared? Instead of the usuals. Just $10 instead. Oh, you mean just okay, you might be talking about the late fee. Okay. Clear that up for me. I want to make sure I'm clear on what you're telling me there. Jared says better to rent now instead starting out with a home. And this, yeah, don't do that. Renting is good. Oh, rent renewal. Okay, gotcha. Because they want you to re-rent. Gotcha. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay. Right. Yeah, just wait it out. Renting is fine because there's a housing market crash that's going to happen. Right. Don't rush. There's listen, just pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't worry about what you're seeing on the news. Just pay attention to what's going on around you. There are millions of people out of work right now. Millions. That means that's millions of people that are not going to be paying their mortgages. They can't. They have no money. That's impossible. Right? So the housing market is going to crash. It is going to crash. It's going to. You see how many people try to postpone their mortgage payments and put them in forbearance and deferring all this other stuff, right? It's because they have no money to pay it. And when it's time to start back to normal, they're still not going to have any money to pay it. They're just going to go longer. They're still not going to have any money. People think once this gets back on track, they're going to go back to making the money they used to make. No, that's never coming back. Kira says, what is your perspective on leasing a smartphone? Never do that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever lease, rent, finance a cell phone ever. No, this is what you do. You save up some money and you buy it for half the price off of Amazon. Just look up the phone you want, Amazon refurbished iPhone 11 Pro Max. All right. You got to remember there's people with no jobs. Okay. There's going to be a whole bunch of phones that's going to flood the market because people can't afford them. They won't even be able to afford them. There's going to be a whole bunch. Just wait. You'll get any phone you want for half the price. Hell, people are going to be selling those on Marketplace and OfferUp and all that stuff. Just wait. When you're out of debt, listen, when you're out of debt and you come over to this new economy, right? When you have cash, you'll never have to spend it. Why? Because you'll be buying everything for half the price from people in debt. Cars, clothes, houses, you name it. Everybody's going to be selling it. How do I know this? I'm looking at people's behavior right now. Pay attention to people's behavior. They're ready to go back to work regardless if there's a killer virus, regardless that there's a killer virus out there floating around killing people. And they're like, screw it, I'm going back to work. Why? Because they're in debt. They got to pay. They got money to pay. And guess what's going to survive? Guess what's going to survive an economic pandemic worldwide? Their student loans are going to survive it. Their IRS debt is going to survive it. Do you know how many people are going to owe taxes on that unemployment money? You know how many people are going to owe taxes on pulling out their retirement money, their 401k money? Can you imagine how much money that is? And guess what? If you have no money and you have no job, you can't pay taxes, penalties and fees. Those are coming. IRS debt, taxes, and student loan debt don't care about pandemics. They don't care about pandemics. They're the cockroaches of the economy. When I say the cockroach, I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about just the tax themselves, student loan debt. It's just they're going to survive. You guys know how many, check it out. Do you know how many people that are in debt that probably work for the IRS, that probably work for the student loan place? I bet you there's people that work at the student loan collection places that have student loan debt. They think they are somehow better because they probably make their student loan payments on time. They're all in the same boat. Everybody. SavingsMinusDebt.com if you want to plan. I know it's a scary time. You know, I have people just call me and they just want to talk to me. They don't necessarily want me all up in their business. Some people want me to create a whole plan for them, even during a pandemic. Even during a pandemic. I absolutely love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. And I'm passionate about it. And I can prove and help you make sure nothing like this ever happens to you again. You will always be ready for whatever comes. Like, I'm gonna give you guys another example so you can view in my part of the world. I was watching a TV commercial with this. It was about a commercial that covered your car just in case your car goes out of warranty, and this company is going to come in and fix your car, your expensive car bill. And as I'm listening to this commercial, they're just filling a person's head with fear that your car could possibly break down on you at the most worst time in your life. That's the whole commercial. You'll listen to commercials differently, right? They're putting a whole fear in a person that their car can break down at the wrong time at any time, and you're going to be totally messed up. But if you're not in debt, you will always have money to fix your car. People that buy services like that, they never stop and ask themselves, why do I need that service? How come I cannot pay to fix my own car? No, but you think people in debt don't ask themselves that question. That's obvious to me when I watch commercials like that. Why would I need you? I have my own money. Gabriel says, but buying a house costs a lot, LJ, even if you're debt free. Oh, Gabriel, if that's what you believe, I can't change what you believe. That's what you believe. And I'm just telling you, Gabriel, that's a belief. That's what you believe? Okay, well, I can't do anything about that, Gabriel. That's what you believe. They don't. And you'll come 2021, you're going to clearly see that they don't cost that much money. There's going to be so many houses on the market. You guys think 2008 was something? That's nothing that's coming. Especially if they pass that no rent and no mortgage for a year. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. I think about that. That's like a tsunami tidal wave that's about to come. A tsunami tidal wave. I don't even want to think about that one. Hmm. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here. It's almost 11 o'clock here, and that's almost 2 hours anyway. So that's right on time. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Now, if you need help, you can reach me at SavingsMinusDebt.com. Here is there's my Instagram. You can go to SavingsMinusDebt.com and create an appointment if you want to talk to me. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. Much appreciated. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share, please. And then when you're sharing the channel, all you got to do is just tell them to Google hashtag savings minus debt, and I will be the only person that pops up in that search. Gabriel says, are you going to get a house, LJ? I sure am. Next year. I'm going to wait till the housing market crash. I'm 50 years old. I ain't got time to be waiting for 30 years. No, sir. I ain't got that kind of time. Nope. Houses are going to be half price, if not less, come next year. It's just like a ticking time bomb. If you can't see that coming, man, all you got to do is just watch people. Watch behavior. Watch the numbers. They're telling you when you watch it all counts on how you look at the news. If you just pay attention to what they're saying, they're telling you what's about to happen. There's millions of people out of work. Nobody can find jobs. Social distancing means that there's never going to be the same amount. I mean, the pandemic alone caused that, but the money being made the way it was before, restaurants, you mean plexiglass on tables? How long do you think people are going to accept that? No, that's never coming back to the way it was before, ever. I'm telling you, I can help you make sure this never happens again, ever to you, ever. This scared feeling that you might be feeling right now that you don't know what to do. What about a job? What if jobs don't come back? I mean, I can only imagine the fear running through people right now. They have no idea what to do. They most don't even know they could be freed right now, and I can help you do it. You'll be freer than you ever been before in your life. This has been the most. I'm 50 years old right now. I didn't start coming out of debt till age 40. I've never been more free in my life. In my life, ever. Sometimes I think about, man, I was working the first 40 years of my life in debt. And the weird thing is, I wasn't scared because I had a job. That's just oh my God, you guys have no idea how that just blows me away when I think I should have been terrified, but I wasn't. I can't even, when I think back like that, man, I can't even believe I did not see that. I cannot believe I didn't see that. And I am just, college educated, got my computer engineering degree, all that, virtualization engineer, tier 3, bloggity blah, all the cute little titles that those tags, those titles that tell people in the regular world that you're smart. And here I am in debt, not using 5th grade math on my finances. I'm making 6 figures. It is just the stupidest nonsense when I think about it. Mm, mm, mm. And before I go, I want to explain something to you so you guys can understand this, what I mean. When you get out of debt and you're going to get an interview, you don't walk into the job crossing your fingers hoping you get it. No, you walk in, tell them what you're going to, if you like it there, if you want to work there, and how much you're going to work there for, and not a penny less. My last job, which was with Alaska Airlines, I was making a little over $100,000 a year there, right? Went to apply for a different position, a managerial position, whatever, right? And they denied me for it. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. They said no. And you got to remember, I'm debt free at this time. So I didn't just accept it and say, oh, Linnell, you're not qualified for it. I just said, you know what? Okay, cool. I quit. You know why? Because I knew I was worth what I was saying. I left there, went to T-Mobile, and got a $50,000 a year raise. $50,000. That's right, because I was making 110 at Alaska Airlines, and I went to T-Mobile and got a $50,000 a year raise, which means I was making $160,000 a year. You know why? Because I believed in myself, and I said, this is what I want, and I got it. But even when I was debt free, that didn't even last too long because I still couldn't take it there being in the cubicle, so I quit. I only stayed there a month. Now, a lot of people like, man, you quit a job making $160,000 a year because, yeah, when you're in debt, you think that's a lot of money. But when you get out of debt, you know it's not. And you know what happened when I said I was quitting? You know what they told me? Why are you quitting, LJ? You need more money? That's exactly what they told me. That I walked away from that job with my mind absolutely blown away. You know why? Because years I was settling for pay when I knew I was worth more than what they were paying me, but I was settling with it. I couldn't see that when I was in debt. I couldn't see that. Once I got out of debt, it was crystal clear. Crystal clear. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. Thank you for joining tonight. Much appreciated. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on tomorrow or not, but we'll see. Like I said, I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday night. Enjoy yourself. Shout out to everyone that participated. Until next time, talk to you later.